Welcome to Cricket 8 podcast. I'm Jarrod Kimber and I'm with the Jack Hope and the Rob Barron, and we're going to go through what was a way more exciting game in the end than I think we probably thought for major parts of that. Let's just start with, who's your man of the match, Jack?
It's a really tricky one, isn't it? I think we probably go for Parag or Jaiswal, but it's
really. So you're not going with Ashwin or Bolt, who couldn't get hit off the square?
Oh, I forgot about Ash.
You've got someone else, Rob.
Rothman Powell, please.
How many catches did he take?
4 of them. 4 good catches. 2 of them are really good, and he got rid of Faf at a very important moment. Cam Green, very important moment. Lon Raw, when he was really set. And Khan Sharma, and you have to get Khan Sharma out to stop him scoring 6 a ball. And then he scored a really important 16 not out off 8 at the end. Like, that's good enough for me. Nobody got 50. Nobody got more than 2 for them, except somebody did get 3. But it was Avish Khan, and he got spanked all around.
Yeah.
So I'm giving that to Robin Powell. But it's an interesting one. There's no definite MOMs. There normally is at the end of these games.
How much was this that Rajasthan bowled well, and how much was it that RCB just got a little bit trapped on a wicket that wasn't quite the smashy, happy wickets that they've been on?
I think it's a combination of both. I think it speaks to the balance of the Rajasthan bowling lineup and the skill of it, that they've been able to get through the full 20 overs with just 5 bowlers who are all frontline bowlers, and they've all managed to contribute at least a wicket. Flip side of that is you look at the RCB batting card. Lots of people in there face 10 balls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, all 4 of the top 4 face 10 balls, and none of them make a massive impact on the game. Patadar the best, but not by lots. Like, it wasn't vintage Patadar, was it?
Well, I mean, a lot of his innings was terrible.
Yeah. So combination, but probably slightly in favour of Rajasthan's bowling.
Take me through the chase. Jaiswal batted in a way that we didn't really assume he would, Rob. He batted very maturely and got him past a tricky, 2.5 overs. And then he said, anything that's in my arc, I'm going to hit for 4. I'm not going to go for 6s, which is very different. Kohler Cadmore was good enough just not to go out early, which is almost all they needed. But Jaiswal, the two of them really set that up, didn't they?
They did, but they were both dropped on single figures. Mm-hmm. And again, catches win matches.
Do they?
They really do.
Or does it just rhyme?
They really do. It rhymes and it's true, which is great for fans of rhymes and truth. Jaiswal was dropped. Kohler Cadmore was dropped. They both stuck around. Jaiswal, that is the correct word. Mature was what his innings was. He put the flashing 6 away and said, I'm going to smash it along the floor. If he doesn't get 45 off 30, he was the highest score in the whole match when we were all expecting a shootout. 45 was the highest score in the whole match. He was the only one on either side, really. Parag did a bit when he came in, to be fair, to take responsibility of winning the match for his side. In the reason why Bangalore didn't win that game is not because their bowlers are bad, because their bowlers are always bad. It's because nobody in the batting unit stood up and faced more than 24 balls was the highest balls faced by anybody. Someone has to say, right, I'm going to take this deep. You guys smash around me. No one did that, so they got 170 instead of getting 195, which they would have defended if they could field.
Yeah.
So, well done to Jaiswal for doing what he did. But we haven't mentioned Hetmeyer, really. And Hetmeyer came in from the cold, having not batted for ages.
Innings, yeah.
And his 26 or 14 was absolutely superb, because he came in at a time where the wheels were falling off, and he had to, if he'd have gone out straight away today, it would have been, oh dear, we've got no bats left after Ashwin. We're in trouble here. I thought he was great. Rajasthan looked like a cricket team and Bangalore didn't, and Rajasthan go through.
Rian Parag. They've invested in him. We know he's improved. We've seen his batting this year. He showed signs today of why he is the better player now, and we trust him. But he still showed signs of why he's Rian Parag. And let's say we trust him as a batter. He's not in our circle of trust completely in the side.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. But if you look at the investment in Parag over the period of time, like the reason they're doing that is because they think at some point in the future, or they thought at some point in the future, this guy is going to play an innings or could play an innings that gets us to an IPL final or gets us an IPL win. And in terms of like win probability added, which is a little bit of a nebulous concept, that innings did add a lot of win probability.
Yep, agreed.
And he has, to some extent, repaid the 50 matches of investment when he was rubbish and he was an idiot and he was a bad idiot. Now, he's a good idiot and he's paid back a little bit. And
he's already given them a good year and he's given them a handy innings. I mean, they may not feel all that much more comfortable with him in going ahead, but they know he can make runs and that he's not going to go completely to water.
Yeah.
Right? And he almost won that game, to be fair. And I don't think it was the right shot to that particular ball. But at the same time, if he hits that for 4 or 6, that was probably completely the game over at that point.
Well, if we look at the two youngest guys in the IPL with the most appearances, him and Shubman Gill, and I know Shubman Gill was great last year, but you look at their years comparable this year, probably Paraga's edged ahead of Gill in terms of like which player you would want in your side. I say that maybe it's a little bit of a stretch, but you're starting to see the talent.
At the very least, he's in that conversation. Yes, he wasn't in that conversation before.
Yeah.
They're going to be going up against the Sunrisers. It wasn't a great win by Rajasthan today, but it was the kind of win that a good team gets even when they're not playing completely at their best, Rob.
Yeah, so 2 guys hugely stepped up with the ball because they had 5 bowlers and that was it. Yep. 5 bowlers, full stop, end of. And 3 of them got spanked. We've forgotten about that.
Yeah.
3 of them got spanked for 12 and over, 11 over and 10.75. And Trent Bolt and Ravi Ashwin got 3 for 35 from their 8 overs without a single boundary being hit, except there was 1. So there was 1 boundary being hit out of 8 overs of bowling, which is a phenomenal effort from Bolt. So Ashwin hugely stepped up today because I don't think the pitch massively suited him compared to everybody else. It
spun more for the wrist spinners, and he was also bowling to right-handers and trying to bowl carom balls. So, he had to use his smarts today rather than his spins.
And this is what you win. Traditionally, you win tournaments with bowlers, you win matches with bats. Their experience of those 2 guys who have played lots of different formats at international level, and they've played loads of big games, those 2. They've played in World Cup semi-finals and World Test Championships and all sorts. And their experience saw them through, and both of those guys worked it out. Trent Bolt was, 1 for 6 off his first 3 overs? Like, phenomenal start. And if you've got, so them moving forward against Sunrisers, you think, oh, dear me, they've got loads of people that hit 6s and they're all in form. Trent Bolt gets a couple early. We saw what happened when SRH lost Head and Abhishek the other day. They all of a sudden, they're in a bit of a mess. So Bolt early is the key, but so you can't go through the side and go, well, look how informal our bats are, because they ain't. Look how informal our bowlers are, they ain't, but they're a good cricket team. And being a good cricket team when you're in a crunch match got them through today. And
being a level cricket team, right? Yeah. Like, if you look at what Hetmeyer and Robin Powell did, it's exactly what they're in the side to do, right? Like, so many of their players did exactly what they are supposed to do. Just on RCB, are they any good, Jack? Or did they just go on a run?
They probably just went on a run, but they're not as bad as maybe
we thought they were.
We thought they were a few games ago. They showed us what they can be good at. Like, they're not a complete team, and the bowling attack is an issue. And
let's have an attack and men who bowl.
Yeah, exactly. But they gave the fans some memories, and they were really good fun to watch. And
it was the vibes they gave us along the way.
Like, they've created a story in the IPL group stage that kind of wasn't there at one stage. So we have to be thankful for them for that. And it was an extremely RCB year in the end, wasn't it? So more of that in the future.
Who are you retaining? Just very quickly at the top of your head.
Well, like, you kind of have to keep Kohli, don't you?
Do you?
Well, if you like money and you own a cricket team, then yeah, you do. Like, Andy's had a great year as well. So
you can't. I don't think you can not root.
It's definitely Kohli.
Yeah.
Okay. And next, Rob.
2 people, Patidar and Will Jacks.
Patidar and Will Jacks. Those are your top 3. And who's our 4th?
I think you probably take Siraj, because
Siraj over Cameron Green.
There aren't that many There aren't that many domestic seam bowlers that can bowl 4 overs every game. And Siraj can bowl 4 overs every game. And he might not be in the top 5, but he is dependable. He's a multi-phase bowler.
He occasionally has good years.
And he does have good years, yeah.
Neither of you have mentioned the captain. Is this the end of Faf du Plessis at RCB?
Yeah, I think Kohli Redux.
Kohli Redux. Rob Barron?
It's not Faf.
Kohli 2, Mission to Moscow?
I would keep 7, I think. I would keep Glenn Maxwell, despite this season.
Ooh! Every RCB fan in the world. His name is Rob Barron. That's Barron. Monsieur Judge on Twitter, just in case you want to, check in with him at all.
Let's dance.
But that's the end of the podcast here today. Thank you for being with us at Cricket 8, and we'll see you again for the next game.